For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover the untold secrets of our world. Let the journey begin now. Did you know this about Isaac Newton? Surprising facts about the inventor, a famous name, right? But what exactly do you know about him? Behind every great discovery stands a great person responsible for it. There are many people whose inventions and discoveries have fundamentally changed our lives. However, it turns out that we don't know much about them, which is truly a shame. One of the renowned scientists who is well known all over the world is Isaac Newton. A famous name, right? But what exactly do you know about him? Who was Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton, 1642–1727, was an English physicist, mathematician, astronomer, theologian, and alchemist, widely recognized as one of the most influential scientists in history. He is best known for his 3 laws of motion and his law of universal gravitation, which describe the fundamental workings of the physical world. Newton's work laid the foundations of modern physics and revolutionized the way we understand the natural world. Beyond that, he was a prolific inventor and made major contributions to mathematics, optics, and astronomy. In addition to his scientific work, Newton was deeply fascinated by and engaged with philosophy and theology. Childhood Isaac Newton was born on January 4, 1643 in Woolsthorpe, England. His father, also named Isaac Newton, died 3 months before he was born, and his mother, Hannah Iskov Newton, remarried when Isaac was 3 years old. Newton was sent to live with his grandparents for several years while his mother and stepfather moved to a nearby town. Newton was a very solitary and introverted child, spending much of his time reading and exploring the countryside. He attended the King's School in Grantham, where he excelled at mathematics and showed an early inclination towards science. His mother wanted him to become a farmer, but Isaac showed little interest in agriculture and was eventually allowed to pursue his passion for mathematics and science. Later, Newton enrolled at Trinity College, Cambridge University, where he studied mathematics and began his groundbreaking work in physics and astronomy, which would later form the basis of some of the most important principles in physics. What did Isaac Newton discover and invent? Isaac Newton made many important discoveries and contributions to science, mathematics, and philosophy throughout his life. Some of his most remarkable achievements include laws of motion. Newton formulated his 3 laws of motion, which describe how objects move and interact with one another. These laws are still used today and form the foundation of classical mechanics. Law of universal gravitation. Newton discovered that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force proportional to their masses and the distance between them. This law explains the motion of planets and other celestial bodies and is also used to study Earth's gravity. calculus. Newton developed calculus, a branch of mathematics dealing with rates of change and slopes of curves. Calculus is used in many fields, including engineering, physics, and economics. Optics. Newton discovered that white light is composed of a spectrum of colors and invented the reflecting telescope. He also made important contributions to the study of optics and color perception. Alchemy, although not considered a scientific discipline today, alchemy was an important precursor to modern chemistry, and Newton made significant contributions in this field. Philosophy. Newton's philosophical ideas had a profound influence on Western thought and culture. He strongly believed in a mechanistic universe governed by the laws of nature and rejected the then prevalent idea of action at a distance. Overall, Newton's contributions to science and mathematics helped lay the foundations for many of the scientific and technological achievements of the modern era. Myths and legends. About the scientist, several myths and legends have been associated with Isaac Newton over the years, some of which are not supported by historical evidence. Here are a few examples. The apple falling on his head. One of the most famous stories about Newton is that he was sitting under an apple tree when an apple fell on his head, inspiring him to formulate the law of universal gravitation. While it is true that Newton used this story to illustrate the concept of gravity, there is no evidence that the event actually happened. A true recluse who never socialized. Although Newton was known for being introverted and spending much of his time alone, he did have a circle of friends and acquaintances, and was also an active member of various social and academic organizations. An alchemist trying to turn lead into gold. While Newton had a strong interest in alchemy, he was primarily focused on the search for the philosopher's stone, which was believed to have the power to transform base metals into gold. However, there is no evidence that he ever succeeded in this pursuit. A deeply devout Christian who believed literally in the Bible. Although Newton was deeply religious and wrote extensively on various theological topics, he did not take the Bible entirely literally and was known for his unorthodox views on Christian doctrine. Overall, while some of these myths and legends may contain elements of truth, they should be viewed critically and placed within their proper historical context. Isaac Newton and Freemasonry. Isaac Newton was a member of the Freemasons, an organization that has existed since the late 17th century. However, the extent of his involvement in the organization is a matter of some debate among historians. Some are not entirely convinced that he was a member, while most lean toward the opposite view. There is evidence suggesting that Newton was initiated into a Masonic lodge in 1691, although the exact details of his membership are somewhat unclear. Some historians believe he may have played a more active role in the organization, while others suggest his involvement was relatively minor. Regardless of the specifics of his membership, it is clear that Newton had an interest in the symbolism and esoteric philosophy associated with Freemasonry. He wrote extensively on these subjects and corresponded with other Masonic thinkers of his time. However, it is important to note that while Newton was certainly interested in the ideas and teachings of Freemasonry, he did not base his scientific or philosophical work on Masonic principles. The scientific discoveries and achievements for which he is best known were grounded in empirical observation, mathematical reasoning, and a mechanistic worldview, not in any mystical or esoteric belief system.